Rosalind, the recognition from the U.S. has been some time in coming.
It has been some time in coming, more than 3 months by my accounting of the records, because reporters here in Washington have been asking the U.S. government almost from the moment that the TNC formed and started picking off members of the Gaddafi regime to serve in opposition to the Gaddafi. Why hasn't the U.S. actually recognized this group, which was elected by many population centers across Libya? Why hasn't the U.S. formally recognized it and made it possible then for the TNC to have access to some of the $30 billion that have been frozen in U.S. bank accounts since the fighting in Libya began in February? They have said that this has taken a lot of time, that they needed to really get a lot of assurances that the TNC was going to be representing a true cross-section of Libyan society. And they did say that they were very much aware that the TNC is essentially outmanned and outgunned by the Gaddafi regime. However, it's important to note that at this meeting of the Libya Contact group in Istanbul, Secretary Clinton did note that once again, in her view and in the U.S. government's view, Muammar Gaddafi has lost legitimacy with his people. Other countries have lost confidence in his ability to try to reconcile this situation there.
We're looking at pictures live from Istanbul right now. The contact group meeting is ongoing and about to hold a press conference to summarize what they've been talking about and what they have concluded, and we'll pop in on that when it does begin. But as you say, Clinton has used this opportunity to announce this recognition of the Transitional National Council. I guess the question now is, what does it mean in practical terms? I mean, you've mentioned frozen funds in the United States. Are those going to be released? What else is the U.S. going to do now that it has recognized that group?
Well, certainly there's going to be some of the logistical things that come with diplomatic recognition of whether or not there's going to be some sort of embassy or temporary consulate set up in Benghazi, which is where the TNC has been headquartered for the past 3 months or so. That sort of thing has to be dealt with. But the most important thing is the access of that $30 billion in U.S. bank accounts, because without that money, the TNC says that it's going to be very difficult for it to, hold elections to figure out what follows the Gaddafi regime, because they believe that they will be able to bring the Gaddafi regime down. They also say that they have a vital need to provide basic humanitarian services to the people in the areas now held by rebel forces. They say that if they can't do this, then they don't have any more legitimacy than a regime which they are quick to point out and repeatedly point out has no compunction about firing on its own people.
All right, Rosiland Jordan in Washington, D.C., thanks for that.